Hello everyone. I just have one question today, and I need your help. Why is it that with all the training we do with correctional officers across the country, and all the ethics training and all the teachings we do on how inmates will fish for you, we still have officers getting caught hook, line, and sinker? Every week, somewhere, an officer gets caught by inmates fishing. And that's what I want to talk about today. Why? Thank you for watching True Prison Stories by Corruption Behind Bars. If you like this video, please subscribe. That's a question that's always bothered me, year after year. You see fellow officers being escorted off the compound, and you know they were manipulated by inmates, and they were hooked, line and sinker. And, I've always thought, what causes this? Sometimes it's just pure greed. Sometimes we have prison staff members who want fast money. And the majority of the time, it's a slow manipulation process done by the inmates. And I've interviewed thousands of inmates over a 12-year period. Sometimes in 1 week, I would interview, over 100 inmates, depending on what we were investigating. And the inmates would sit with me, and some would tell me what's going on, some wouldn't. But no matter whether they cooperated with me or not in the interview, the inmates always told me one thing. They said, look, it's my job to get everything I want to make my life as comfortable as possible in prison. Money in prison is power, and money in prison is safety. So I may want money, and it may be in the form of cash, it may be in the form of contraband. I want sex, so I'm going to try to manipulate the weak officers, the ones with low self-esteem. For the women, I'm going to look for ones that are victims of domestic violence. I'm going to look for the women that are not having sexual relations at home. They told me that they know of these things because they come to the prison and talk about it with other staff members, and it's within earshot of the inmates. For the male officers that are preying on female inmates in some of these prisons, I've investigated those cases as well. The female inmates would gladly tell me that they did it to get what they wanted, to get their drugs, to get their power, to get their money. They didn't do it because they loved the guy. They may have told the male officer they love him, but it was all a manipulation. And they go about it slowly and very easily, with one step at a time. Is it okay to do favors for inmates? Well, the word favor doesn't even sound good. I don't like the word favor. I've heard people say, can we do favors for inmates? Well, it depends. When does a favor turn into a crime? Okay, it's Monday night football. I'm the dorm officer, and there's 5 minutes left in the game, which is going to take 20 minutes real time or more. Or we could even say it's 2-minute warning. It's tied 30-30. You're the dorm officer. Now, you've been told by your supervisors, use your discretion. The inmates, CO, come on, man, let us finish this. We watched the whole game, and now we're not going to know. No, shut off that TV. That's it. You can find out the score in the morning. Well, that's your prerogative. You are the dorm officer. But is it okay just to give them a couple more minutes before you turn the lights out and maybe save a lot of trouble, a lot of issues? We're not going to give them anything. And of course, if they act up when you give them anything, we're going to shut it down right away. So I'm not saying we're going to be so weak and soft that they get anything they want, but there's some things that you can think about. That's not criminal. That's a discretion that you have. We had this happen at DeSoto Correctional Institution years ago, where they shut the TV down with only like a minute left in the game, and ended up doing all kinds of crazy things in the dorm and tearing it up. Now, that's not right. They need to be punished for that. And just because we tell them what to do and they don't like it does not give them the right to do that. But I'm just throwing some ideas out there to get you thinking. But when it turns into a crime is when the inmate asks for candy, cigarette, food, anything, accepting a picture from an inmate, accepting a gift from an inmate, a card from an inmate. Now you've crossed the line. In Florida, you've walked over the threshold of 944.47. Introduction of any article, food, clothing, all that is listed as a felony. Accepting gifts from inmates, it's the same thing. So they will manipulate you and they will fish. They're going to fish little by little by little. And once you get one item from them, the next time they ask for something, they're going to say, well, you know, last time you took that picture I drew for you, took it home, or you brought me that sandwich, you know. So any little thing like that, that's fishing. Inmates are fishing, and that's a nibble. You gave them a half of your sandwich. You nibbled. Okay, now they know they got a nibble. Now they're going for the next and the next till they get the full bite. And then they're going to reel you in, and it's over, folks. Inmates target officers who are complaining about not being able to pay their bills. Again, why are you talking about this in front of the inmates? Inmates are relentless in their pursuit to get you. Inmates are relentless in their pursuit. They will always be trying to find a way to get you on their side and get you to bring them something. For all you honest, hard-working officers who have been around for years, please get those young officers and tell them of all the fishing the inmates do. You know all the games. I want to write an article for Corrections 1 on fishing, how inmates fish, what they do to fish, things they fish for. And I'll take any comments you give me under this YouTube channel, and I'll use it in the article. If you want me to use your name, I'll definitely use it in the article and use your name. If you don't want me to use your name, don't put it here. I'll also post this video on several corrections websites, and same thing goes for that. If you put a comment under the website and want me to use it, I will, with or without your name. Either way is fine with me. I don't know everything. We have to work together and teach not just our young officers, but look at Escape at Dannemora. The officer that got involved with Joyce Mitchell getting the hamburger meat from her with a hacksaws and taking it to inmate Matt and Sweet. And he knew it was wrong. 30 years on the job. I think he started in 1987. And this incident took place in 2015. Whatever he had almost 30 years of service, and he took paintings home that the inmates drew of his wife for him. So it's not just young officers. Catch those older officers that are getting complacent and starting to fall to the inmate manipulation. It all goes back to inmate manipulation, falling into that trap. Don't let it happen. Nothing but time for them to work on you. And there's proof over and over again that they can manipulate older staff just as good sometimes as they can manipulate young staff members. So all of you that know the games and have done well for all your career, don't just teach the young officers, teach everybody over and over and over again. Refresh the memory. Don't get complacent. Complacency lets you get hooked by the inmates. I don't know what else to say. It just is beyond me how year after year after year we continue to see staff members being hooked by inmates. And it's not getting better, folks. Something has to be done. So please put your thoughts and comments on here. Let us know what you think. It's terrible that inmates target officers to begin with, but they will. And no matter how strict we are, they're still going to target the weak. So please, help your fellow officers and get those civilian staff trained. If you see anybody talking too much to an inmate, get in there and get them out of there. And give them a counseling. If they don't like your counseling, send it on up to the sergeant and shoot it on up the line. And management, keep plugging away. We've got to teach ethics every year. We've got to teach inmate manipulation every year. We've got to stop officers falling for the inmate phishing tricks. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to my channel. Gary York, True Prison Crimes by Corruption Behind Bars. Thank you. Have a great day.